right. Welcome back, everybody. It is the Slate Lace Podcast. We are
Yes,
still
sir.
rocking this different look for a little bit, but
I
we'll
mean, it ain't gonna be much longer. I would imagine the next one we would
yeah,
be,
we'll be back to normal.
you know.
But today we are going to be discussing two films to kind of wrap up our Christmas countdown. Where
Head
we
into the new year.
Yep, where we talk about a new movie and then an old movie that we like and cherish. So today we are talking Operation Christmas Drop.
Yup.
And then we're also gonna talk Jack Frost. So that'll be the final one. And I'm a little excited about that, but let's start with Operation Christmas Drop. Blair, what was your initial thoughts going into this movie? Did you know much about it?
No, I didn't. Didn't who requested? Somebody requested it, right? Somebody we know requested
Someone
it.
might have mentioned it. Yeah, I don't remember who. But also,
Yeah.
I was planning on doing this one anyway, just because it was one of the new ones on Netflix.
Okay. Okay. So
So,
yeah, I had no clue. Again, saw no trailer, and I kind of like that. And that's kind of going to be my approach to almost really any movie because we're the type that if it came out, we're going to watch it regardless, you know? And so since that's kind of our mindset, I'm just going to start steering away from trailers because obviously if I watch a trailer, maybe this is a movie that I'm going to watch. Maybe it's not for me if I see the trailer, you know? So I didn't really have any initial thoughts. I just sat down and kind of turned it on and was just like, all right, here we go. Buckled up and
we'll get into the rest. Real quick, the summary is congressional aide Erica foregoes family Christmas to travel at her boss's command. At a beachside Air Force base, she clashes with Captain Andrew, who knows her assignment is finding reasons to defund the facility. So that is pretty much what it's about.
Right.
I had seen the trailer when the movie first dropped on Netflix, but I wasn't excited about it. And I guess that's where Blair's correct in. It was probably better just to go in blind than to come in like I did, because I was like, I knew this was going to be a rough one from the jump. I was like, yeah, I'm not going to like this. But yeah, so that was my initial thoughts, was just like, all right, let's check it out. Maybe it'll surprise me. Maybe something will jump off. I don't know. But I wasn't excited from what I seen on that trailer. I just, it wasn't going to be something that I was going to rate very high. So,
that's unfair.
But Blair kind of foreshadowed or hinted at the fact that you might have another surprising rating coming for this. So we're going to see. On that note, Blair, let's get into where this movie succeeded. Yeah, we're gonna start with the good.
The good is, I would say it was slightly entertaining. You know, every time you ask me what was the good on a regular movie, it's kind of tough to answer those questions because it's kind of like it was just a regular film. Yeah. I think it was fairly enjoyable. You know, I did enjoy the characters. I did not find myself watching the clock. Matter of fact, I didn't pause it not once. If I had to go to the bathroom, I actually made sure I finished the movie before I got up to go use the restroom. Like I said, yeah, I did like the boy and the girl cast. You know, it felt hallmarky, so I liked that. You know, I liked the setting in the sense of traditionally with Christmas movies, you kind of get the snow, ice, the blizzard. This was like summer in Hawaii, but it wasn't Hawaii, you know, so that was kind of cool. It was a little bit different, you know. The originality meter might go up a little bit in today's poll. But yeah, I mean, just overall, you know, again, outside of getting exactly what you expect, because you're going to get exactly what you expect with this film, you know, I can't really poo-poo it.
Yeah, you touched on what I was going to basically be my only positive for where this film succeeded, and that's originality. They gave us something that we haven't seen before. Like Blair, you touched on the location. That's definitely original. It's not this white Christmas thing. You know, we're summer, it's hot, we're sweating, we're swimming, all that good stuff. And yeah, I've never seen a storyline like this. I don't think I've seen anything Christmas on a base before. So yeah, this was completely unique, something we haven't seen before. Of course, the general premise of getting in the Christmas spirit, doing the right thing is there, that foundation, but it's still a completely original storyline. So Netflix hit the nail on the head with that. Maybe they're listening to this podcast and they're like, all right, we got to give these people something. That is going to be the only thing that saves this movie as far as
another thing too is that it was kind of cool because again, I hadn't watched anything related to it, so I hadn't seen any trailer or did any type of research. You know, you said watch it and it was kind of go, you know, and I went on and watched it. But one of the things that I also did like was it was based on like an actual story and something that's currently going on like today.
Yeah, those
that was kind of cool. I didn't know that. And then the white-haired dude that kind of looked like you know, Santa Claus, he was like a real actual, you know.
Yeah, that was cool too. Exactly. I like that element that there was, you know, it's a true story basically. And again, the originality probably will be the only thing that will save this. So yeah, they definitely did a good job. So major kudos on that end. So try not to be too harsh on these ratings. But Blair, where did this fail for you?
Obviously it was predictable, and what's funny is because I had not seen the trailer, right? I was just watching it and I was just like, oh, wait a minute, they're just obviously gonna fall in love, right? Like, but I didn't think about it right away. I was just sitting there watching it. I seen her like homegirl going like, oh, he's kind of cute or whatever, like before she even goes overseas to do it, right? And I'm just like, huh, what? Like nobody's thinking about that, right? And then like when you see them like working together, right, I was like, oh, this is what the movie's doing, right? Because I didn't watch the trailer. If I watched the trailer, right, like I'm like, oh yeah, this is a romance, whatever. I didn't think it was supposed to be romance or anything. I didn't know what I was getting. And I don't know, maybe I think we all should try to take a piece out of that and just stop watching and go dive right in. But obviously, if you have money and restrictions and things like that, you kind of have to. But anyways, I think that it became slightly predictable. I think characters were harsh unnecessarily, kind of like the girl's boss, the congresswoman. It was just kind of like she was so over the top with how harsh she was. It was kind of like not even believable.
Trying to cut them lines.
Yeah, but it was just like then remember like even when she finally like showed up on the base and how she was acting, it was kind of like, all right, you know, you wouldn't do this, you know. And then, I mean, I can't really say too many negative things about it because I know what the film is. You see what I'm saying? It's like when you're watching Hallmark, this is exactly what you get. They're following step 1, 2, 3, 4. They're following the steps. It's supposed to be cheesy. It's supposed to be corny. It's supposed to be this way. So it's like I can't sit here and say they're overacting or they're doing this. Like that's what they're supposed to do. Every Hallmark movie is just like this. Most Christmas movies are just like this. It's when a movie is trying their best to succeed and is not succeeding is then when I have to mention something about it. So I can't really say too much other than outside it was predictable. And I really didn't like the congresswoman and how they kind of like portrayed her. It was just like way too much for me.
Yeah. So for me, where it failed, predictability is a big thing for me. Again, I can't really harp too much on the predictability because, you know, I am sitting here saying that it's kind of an original storyline. So I'm going to give them a little bit of a pass.
But you knew romance was coming, though.
Yeah. I'm going to give them a little bit of a pass on that, but also just straight up failed to really engage me. I should mention that the main characters are Kat Graham and Alexander Ludwig. Two who I've seen in other things, and they were a little more entertaining in those other movies than they were in this. I mean, Kat Graham has been in like a ton of TV, like Vampire Diaries, so I was expecting a little more for her. Like I wanted her to kind of carry this a little bit more, but she was kind of dull and just like I couldn't get into her character.
I mean, you can only carry it as far as the script will let you carry it, though.
True. Yeah, I mean, it wasn't that phenomenal of writing and depth to her character. I mean, she pretty much comes in, gets her mind changed, and ends up doing the right thing at the end. So yeah, okay. Like the writers didn't give her a whole lot to work with on compared to like a complex show that she's been on. But yeah, she didn't entertain me in this. Neither did Alexander Ludwig. I mean, he was in Divergent, all those kind of series. Like wanted a little bit more. Yeah, and it was just not entertaining to me. Fairly boring. Like Blair mentioned, he wasn't checking the time. I checked the time like twice. But what I do like is though they did keep this movie short. It was like an hour and hour 45 maybe.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, so at least they didn't drag it out. So I gotta give them props again. But like I said, the only thing that's gonna save is the originality for me. It just flat out wasn't entertaining, wasn't a solid choice. But then again, I was more prepared because I knew that going in. I knew that this was gonna be one that I was just gonna have to push through. So
that's really unfortunate. Another thing that I did want to add in was I remember watching it and I was thinking, I was like, how old are these characters, right? Like I was just thinking, I was like, they seem like 37 through 40. And then all of a sudden, like I go and I Googled them and I was like, oh, dang, they're much younger than I had anticipated. You know, they were like the 28 to 31 range. Yeah. And then what I noticed was it was just kind of like the wardrobe, like the hairstyles they had her in kind of made her seem like a little bit older. But then like there was like a couple, like when she went to the party and was dancing and things like that, I was like, oh, okay, yeah, she does look significantly younger. I don't know what it was. Obviously, this isn't even a knock on the movie. It was just something that I had like noticed. And I was like,
I think the Alexander Ludwig is in his 20s.
Yeah, he's only like 28 and she was 31.
Yeah, and then she's a little bit older. I know she's been around for a minute. But yeah, no, I get what you're saying too. But it's probably, I don't think it was that big of a budget. You know, it's probably a little low budget. They didn't have that.
Yeah, but I mean, they got to shoot overseas, so shout out to that.
That was a lot of money.
There was obviously the green screen and stuff was cheesy for me. It was funny, like seeing the airplane fly by when the people were on the beach. The rain, obviously, it was not raining at any point in time. It didn't look like it. But again, that's Hallmark. That's what we get. So, I mean,
agreed.
Hallmark should have its own rating system. There could be a 10 within the Hallmark realm, you know, and then if you graded it based on other movies, it wouldn't be nearly as good.
I'm still on the fence with this whole Hallmark thing. Hallmark has hit it out the park, in my opinion. Like, these movies, yeah. When I used to be watching Hallmark and Lifetime with mom at home, they was hitting. Those movies was hitting. These ain't hitting. These last ones.
Oh, no. I really
maybe it's the same kind of, the way you construct the story. Mm-hmm. They're doing that similar to Hallmark. But as far as, like, everything else, Hallmark
the execution,
is taking the cake, you know? But I'm gonna have to go back and watch some of these classic Hallmark films, you know, and kind of see what I was looking at. Maybe I was young and naive. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. But I'm gonna
yeah, okay. Let's get into the rating. So before we get into ours, let me first say that IMDb gave it a 5.8 out of 10. Mm-hmm. Now that's not great, to be honest, especially for IMDb. Like, they usually, you know, kind of sway in the favor of the movie, I feel like, right?
Mm-hmm. They do.
And then Rotten Tomatoes.
It was like 47%, I believe.
Operation. 47, you say?
Yeah, it was about a 47%, if I do recall.
And yes, it was 47. So did also terribly on Rotten Tomatoes, which is a little bit of a harsher critic in my opinion. Mm-hmm. So to me, they're pretty spot on, but let's get into Blair's rating. Blair 1 to 5 on entertainment. Now
I would say I'd say 2.5, 3 out of entertainment. I'll stay with 2.5.
Okay.
I'll stay with 2.5 because but I was entertained. And again, these are, in my mind, these are Hallmark numbers. So 2.5. Look, think about it. 2.5 for me is like Rebecca, but a 2.5 in the Hallmark realm, that's like a 4. You see what I'm saying? You see how my numbers, yeah. So it was about a 2. It was about a 2.5.
Ooh, that Rebecca, man. Anyway, so let's not harp on that. 2.5.
I'm just trying to put it in perspective for our audience. You know what I mean?
1 to 5 on originality.
I'll give it I'll give it a 2.5 as well.
Dang. So you weren't
Yeah,
really that hyped.
because no, I think it was original, but again, I have to think about how I've treated movies in the past because remember the last film that we went ahead and reviewed, I only gave it about a 6.5. And if you think about it in comparison, there's no way the two hold a candle. You see what I'm saying? So if I
Jingle
sit here
Jangle's better
and
than
give
this.
it, you said what?
Jingle Jangle's better than this.
Yeah, and it's light years ahead of this. You know, Jingle Jangle is like,
The light years.
it's not, now again, I'm not saying it's in the up tier of movies, but I'm saying it's reaching there. So if I have Jingle Jangle reaching there and that's only about a 6.5, 7, then I can't turn around and throw Operation Christmas Drop in the exact same level. So that's why I'm about, for me, it's going to be about a 5 out of 10 as far as that goes. So it's 2.5 on each, give or take, however you want to do it. But it definitely was original in the sense of I did like seeing it, you know, on the beach, on the shore. That was kind of fun to see.
Yeah, new locations. That was cool.
Mhm.
All right. Entertainment 1 to 5 for me. 1.5. I can't go. I can't go any higher. I did Jingle Jangle at what? 2.53.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is worse. This is not a good showing.
I don't think it really was like that boring. Like it's just like I think you're like mistaken like what you think you're gonna get, and obviously it is what you got. But like, there's never really a point where you're just like, oh my gosh, is this really a movie? I mean,
Yeah,
I
no,
didn't
I
really
was kind of like that though. I was really like, I'm done. Like I was really ready to cut it off.
It was silly. Like that was my thing.
So, but this is how you're feeling is how I felt about Holiday, and you're feeling how I'm feeling about Holiday. You know what I'm saying?
No, because Holiday was trying to succeed. Holiday was trying to make a solid film, and that's where they went completely wrong.
Okay, so this was just sucking, and they owned it. You're saying?
Yeah, this is like you know what you're making. Let's just make a little cheesy, corny holiday movie, right? There was never once a serious moment in this film other than when the girl was potentially going to lose her job. In Holiday, there was a lot of moments where
I knew she wasn't even going to lose her job.
What?
And we knew she wasn't going to lose her job. Like,
yeah, obviously, because it was the film. That's not what the film was about. The only thing that could happen is if she decided to step away and not take the job.
That's what she should have done. He'd have threw me for a loop, and I would have gave him a 2.
But my thing is in Holiday, there was way too many instances where they were trying to be serious, and it was just like you couldn't.
Yeah, it was trying to be a serious rom-com. Yeah, it was trying
to. And it did not succeed. That's my thing. So then that's when you have to grade it harshly. This is like never once did they try to be like, take me seriously.
No, they didn't. But yeah, I mean, to me, Holiday was still light years better than this. It wasn't better than Jingle Jangle, that's for sure. So I'm going with my 1.5 on entertainment. And then originality, I'll go 4 on originality. And I said it from the beginning, originality was going to save this. So I got it at 5.5. So it came out higher than you. But I think that it deserves that rating, the 4 rating on originality. Again, we haven't seen, this kind of Christmas movie. We haven't seen like a tropical, there's probably been some tropical Christmas movies, but
right.
With this kind of storyline and this premise, they did a good job. They brought us something new. Now we just need that execution. Yeah. But on that note, let's segue into a movie I like far, far better. And that
Wait, hang on. But yeah. I do want to say though that for the people, if they choose to watch it, I would say whatever, go ahead and watch it. But it is not something that I think we both really recommend. I wouldn't really put it up there on your watch list. Yeah, I wouldn't.
If you see it on your Netflix Quay, like, just keep swiping. Like,
go ahead and pass, huh?
Yeah, it's not good. But yeah, so segueing to the 1998 Christmas movie, Jack Frost. So I feel like a lot of people haven't seen this, if I'm gonna be real.
Yeah, as they should.
Really? That is just straight up disrespect. You need to go check this out immediately. This is probably another movie that I've probably just ruined the whole VHS trying to play this one back.
Yeah, that's the only reason I'm even saying that. Like, it's fine, but I just know that you were obsessed with that movie.
Yep, like bad. I just
Yeah.
played the heck out of this.
Yeah.
Real quick, it's just about a father who can't keep his promises. He ends up dying in a car accident, and that is not a spoiler because it's literally in the synopsis. And then he tries to make it right as he comes back in the form of a snowman.
Yep.
Now, it sounds weird, it sounds corny, but the movie just works. And it entertains you from the beginning to the end. It is kind of a dark one for Christmas and also dark for the audience, I would say.
Yeah.
But Blair, where did this movie succeed?
In the premise, I
Yeah.
like the idea of, you know, you're having your opportunity to right your wrongs.
Yeah.
You know, because sometimes it takes something major in your life to kind of realize what you've been doing wrong. And if he wasn't put in this actual situation, he wouldn't have realized, like, I'm a man that doesn't keep my promises. I'm a man that, like, is failing at raising a family and things like that. So I do think it succeeds in the premise aspect.
Yeah.
And then I want to say it has memorable lines, and I don't know how true that is, or if that's just because we grew up on it. And I know that you say the line over and over again to where it's like, in my mind, I'm like, dang, is it a classic with all these memorable lines? But it may not actually be. It may be just because you can't shut up. So I don't know. It could be like, you know, it's touch and go on that one. But I do think it's just the actual premise that I feel like was really strong. And I do think there was a consistent mood with the film. So I'll go ahead and I'll say those two things were pretty solid for me.
Good. Yeah, same for me is just the storyline is great. The line Blair's talking about is "Snow Dad is better than no dad," because this young boy wholeheartedly believes, you know, that's his dad. No one believes him, obviously, except for what a bully that doesn't have a father figure. He ends up, you know, kind of helping him out in the end. So it's cool. The heartfeltness of it all, the fact that it can be so dark, but also make you happy at the same time. So just those kind of two elements blending together. Characters, cast, great.
Right.
In my opinion, yeah, they all did it. They all, you know, acted very well, hit it out the park. Yeah, I'm just a whole complete fan of the movie. Entertainment, storyline, cast, everything was top notch to me. So now, Blair, knock it down a little bit. Where'd it fail?
I don't think it was really that entertaining. I think it was a little corny. The coming back as
okay.
I know the coming back as a snowman is like a little silly, you know. He's just, I don't know. It really was. It was just okay, you know. It falls right in the line of you know, it's another snowy Christmas. You know, someone has lost their loved one and all of that. I mean, it's really not. It's not too different, other than like that gruesome car accident, you know.
Yeah.
And they're reminiscent of that, but yeah, I mean, it took me being an adult to kind of realize that the movie was just, you know, because obviously, like as kids, I don't even know I really like if I liked it that much as a kid.
No,
It
I
was
was
just
gonna,
really,
I was gonna say that. I was gonna say that you weren't that big of a fan of Jack Frost.
right.
From
It was
the
just that
Buds.
you had it on repeat, so I had to watch it.
Yeah, true. That was probably a lot of me forcing your hand on this one. But it's a phenomenal film. Like, I don't know. It's just like it's so good.
Phenomenal, huh? All right.
This is just, yeah, it's that.
Well, I heard it first, people. Jack Frost is phenomenal.
Check it out. And prove me wrong in these comments. Let's go. So if I'm going into where it missed for me, I really have to dig, and I guess I'm going to go with what you said, Blair. Just the fact of him coming into an inanimate object. Okay, that's a little odd, like little silly, but it works. They hit it out the park. Like they did something like, this is kind of odd. Let's do it. And yeah, I mean, the writers did a great job with that. I mean, I feel like the whole storyline saved it. The acting, the believability, it went up, you know. And something that may have been so childish and silly to begin with. I feel like they hit nail on the head. But yeah, I mean, if I'm going harsh and, you know, I'm really nitpicking it, yeah, I'll agree with you and say that the whole fact of a person well, I guess their spirit being in this
Right,
event.
exactly.
So, and that's digging, because I really don't even think that's the issue. Maybe all the hockey playing too, because I mean, we weren't really into hockey, so
Yeah.
maybe I'll do that. But everything else, shoot, it works. But let's get into the ratings on it. So the people of IMDb gave it a 5.4. Dang.
Yeah, and Rotten Tomatoes is what, like 27% or something like that?
That is not good. Rotten Tomatoes. I gotta look that one up.
Yeah, I remember it wasn't high, I think, when I checked like a few years ago.
Frost. They gave it, they gave it a 19%. That's terrible. So you kind of lean into that Jack Frost people. So yeah, also I feel like it was a little bit disrespectful on the IMDb rating. And then Rotten Tomatoes, I mean, this is kind of what I expect from them. That's kind of what
But to put in perspective in how they're not always correct, remember, Home Alone, their rating wasn't that high either. And the whole Turbo Man movie, I think that was about a 9% on Rotten Tomatoes. So
yeah, we didn't give the rating. I don't think we did the Rotten Tomato rating.
No, I know. I remember them. So that's what I'm telling you. It was a 9% on Jingle All the Way, and it was like 50 or 60% for Home Alone.
Yeah,
so again, it's just like sometimes you rate it at the time, and then time goes by and it actually withstands and holds its ground.
Yeah.
And kind of cements itself as a classic, and then you go back and you go, I don't necessarily know about that.
I think you got cult classic. Home Alone's definitely a cult classic. And that's
I think that's a bona fide classic in everybody's eyes.
Okay.
The Jingle All the Way and Jack Frost, maybe those are cult classics.
Yeah. So that'll be something where, you know, maybe even the Rotten Tomato people kind of look back like, ooh.
Yeah, that was harsh. Yeah.
But yeah.
You know, you might feel that way about the last one we reviewed in the last Christmas. Why am I forgetting the name right now? We just Jingle Jangle. You might be feeling that way about that in 20 years' time. Maybe.
All right, I'm gonna watch it back.
We gonna run it back.
All right, so Blair, get into your rating. 1 to 5 entertainment for Jack Frost.
I would say it's about a 2.
Okay. No. Next.
You can't tell me what to do with my rating.
1 to 5 on originality.
2.5.
So you got it at 4.5?
Mm-hmm. Well, understand. This is what I try to explain, right? I gave the last movie a better rating, Operation Christmas Drop, correct?
Yeah.
But Operation Christmas Drop is not better than Jack Frost. But the difference is that you got to realize when you're rating a Hallmarky movie, how you're going to treat it.
All right.
So that's all I'm saying. But yeah, Jack Frost is really like a 4 to 5 out of 10. And again, it's the same thing with Operation Christmas Drop. But again, Operation Christmas Drop has a certain box and parameters that it's set with.
All right. That's fair. For me, entertainment, 1 to 5. I mean, I watch this thing religiously, so I can't even fake it. It's a 5. Entertainment,
I know it is.
that good. Originality, I truly think that this movie is one of a kind. I don't know any. There's tons of body switch movies. I'll say. I mean, we can go Freaky Friday. All those kind of movies. But they've never done something in
in the late 80s to 90s, there was a lot of those. There was a couple that I can think of. I can't think of the title right now. I remember Big was one of them. And then there was another. So there was like 2 that came out in 89. But yeah, I get you. So it's not necessarily.
They've never come back as something that nobody would expect to talk. You know, even Big, he went as a little kid, right, or whatever.
Right. Most of them, they like swap with their parents and things like that in the late. Yeah.
So again, this is something new. I'm gonna swap with a snowman. You know, and then not only that, but I'm gonna make people cry. I'm gonna make people laugh, and I'm gonna make people believe that your dad's spirit can be in, a block of ice. So, yeah, I mean, to me, that's original. I'm going 5. So I'm going 10 out of 10. And I mean, I truly walk the walk. I watch this movie all the time. I might cue it up tonight just for nostalgic purposes. So, hey, I'm going 10 out of 10. Check it out and let me know what your guys' ratings are. Blair obviously doesn't agree, but hey, we're here to disagree anyways. Blair, what? You looking mighty silent. Yeah, we don't agree.
I'm just saying, like, it's like you literally gave this movie a 10 out of 10, and there's a lot of movies in my mind that are 10s, and it's like, I don't think they can even hold a candle.
True, but it's what it does for you personally. How it
I mean, that's really what it's about. I guess that's today's lesson,
Yeah, because Star Wars are 10s out of 10s, right? I fell asleep through the first one. Star Wars.
That Star Wars is 10 out of 10.
Whatever. Several billion people in America
they
that love
They're
that.
Not 10s out of 10.
People say Game of Thrones. You know what I'm saying? Like it's on that. It's on that level. It is.
Okay, I understand that. I understand
Ridley,
that.
whatever. Ridley, I don't even know if he did it. He probably didn't. It's not Star Wars, is he? Is it? Well, whatever. I don't watch. But yeah, it's what it does for those people. People love Star Wars. It's just got that following. Yeah, and that's this movie for me. But on that note, guys, we're back to regularly scheduled programming when it comes to movies. So I think we're going to be hitting a lot more of these Netflix films, seeing what's cracking. We still can't go to theaters, which sucks.
Yeah, not for us, but a lot of people can, though.
Yeah. There's nothing cracking off out here in LA that we can go see. So, yeah, we're going to be, firing up the Fire Stick and checking Netflix and Amazon Prime and seeing what we got. So we'll be back with a couple more movies in 2 weeks. We'll probably come back with a shoot episode next because we got a lot of sneaker news to dive into. Blair, anything before we close?
No, I mean, I would say, check out Jack Frost. If you're in the mood for it as well. I would say for me, I don't think you're missing too much, but it would be fun to turn it back on and just remember being like 6 years old, 5 years old, something like that, and kind of just really reminisce. So it would be cool to do that as well. And I think if you grew up in the 90s, then maybe you should turn this on. But I would say I'm a little on the fence on if it's absolutely recommended. And again, same thing as Operation Christmas Drop.
Definitely pass on the Christmas Drop. That's expert advice right there. On that note, we are the Slate Lace Gang. We're signing out. See ya.